The phone rang at 3 a.m., startling me awake. I saw my wife's name on the caller ID, but she was just feet from me, sound asleep. I slowly lifted the phone to my ear and heard only hissing static and distant screams. The line went dead, and I turned to gently shake my wife awake. The tree stood alone in the field, towering over the grass. Andrew climbed and sat on a thick branch, leaning against the rough trunk. Peace washed over him as he watched the sun descend behind the distant hills, bathing the meadow in gold. The battered watch. I looked at the battered watch, a gift from my father. The hands had stopped at 2:37, the moment of his death. I wrapped the old leather strap around my wrist and put on my coat, ready to face whatever the day held. Time had stopped for him, but it marches on for me. Puppies soft. I reached out my hand and laid it gently on the puppy's soft fur. He looked up at me with warm brown eyes full of excitement and trust. A smile spread across my face for just a moment. All was right in the world. I picked him up and brought him home. The suitcase. He knelt by the dusty suitcase in the attic, faded labels clinging to worn leather. Memories flooded back as he opened the lid. Childhood treasures, simple toys, baby clothes, faded photographs of long-gone loved ones. He smiled and closed the lid, time traveling back to simpler days. The gift. She carefully wrapped the small box, selected the perfect card. To Dad, with love, she wrote. On Christmas morning he opened it slowly, carefully. Inside was wristwatch, battered and worn. He hugged his daughter tight with tears in his eyes. Your grandfather's watch, he said. The perfect gift, the forgotten watch. I pulled the old pocket watch from the bedside table, wiping dust from the battered metal case. Grandpa had given it to me on my 10th birthday, ticking away unchanged for decades. But living without clocks or schedules, I had forgotten about it, left it behind. Until now, the broken branch, I sat beneath the oak tree, leaning against the ancient trunk. A sudden crack overhead was my only warning before a large branch crashed down, hitting me square on the shoulder. As I lay dazed in the tall grass, the branch's broken end pointed like an accusing finger towards the house I had neglected for so long, the accidental gift. Rummaging through old boxes, I found a worn teddy bear. Memories of my childhood friend rushed back as I stared at the familiar patchwork fur. Checking the paw tag, I saw his name. Without thinking, I mailed it as a birthday gift, only realizing after it had gone what an impact that small, accidental gesture could make. The lonely bench, I sat down on the familiar wooden bench under the oak tree, watching students hurry to class. As the years pass, faces change, but this spot stays the same. I run my hands over the worn grooves left by generations of students, feeling a wave of melancholy for quieter days now gone. The abandoned swing. I sat on the old wooden swing, now creaking with rust. Memories flooded back of summers spent swinging high into the cloudless sky, jumping off at the last moment. But now ivy crawled up the chains, leaves littered the ground. I stood up and walked away, leaving the abandoned swing alone once more. The broken shoelace. I tripped on the broken shoelace, landing hard on my knees. Looking closer, I saw the frayed ends, string hanging loose. Memories came rushing back, of a father bending down to tie my first shoelaces, his hands guiding mine. I rethreaded the worn lace and tied a careful bow, then walked on slowly, one step at a time. The forgotten key. I found the old bronze key tucked away in a drawer. Memories came flooding back, opening the front door after school, sharing secrets in my bedroom. The key now lay heavy in my hand, belonging to a door long since relocked, a room no longer mine. I placed the key carefully back in the drawer, forgotten once more. The torn jacket. I ran my fingers over the torn sleeve of my childhood jacket, holes worn through at the elbows. Memories surfaced of a younger self, running home to show off this treasured garment. Now it hangs discarded at the back of the wardrobe, fabric threadbare, too small to wear again. Yet still I cannot part with the tattered jacket and the years it holds within its torn seams. The old bicycle. I spotted the rusty bicycle leaned against the garage. Tires flat, chain hanging loose. Memories came flooding back of riding recklessly down hilly streets, wind in my hair. I ran my hand along the worn handlebars and pictured myself, younger again, pedaling faster into the setting sun. Then I walked away, leaving the old bicycle behind, the forgotten baseball. I found the old baseball tucked away in a drawer. The worn leather still had imprints from my father's fingers as he threw me pitches for hours in our backyard. I squeezed the ball, remembering his smile and encouragement. F.